All right, so Tyson versus Paul is happening tonight. UK, well, actually, wee hours of the morning, wee hours of Saturday morning UK time, late, roughly at night US time. And to be honest, with you, I actually thought, I don't know why, I guess I just assumed this would be on a Saturday. So I was quite surprised when I was seeing the weigh-in pictures yesterday, and I was like, weigh-in pictures on a Thursday? But yeah, obviously, November 15th is, of course, a Friday. Well, it'll be, as I said, the wee hours of Saturday morning for us. But it was interesting to see what both guys weighed in at. You know, Jake Paul's been weighing in around the kind of 190s, low 200s, 227 pounds. Now, Mike Tyson in his absolute prime, was normally around the two teens, maybe 220s thereabouts. But you know, he was always in around that weight. When he got older in his respective career, and especially more so after he came out of prison, he started pumping a lot more weights. And I'm pretty sure, in fact, I should really have his box rec opened here, but I'm pretty sure for some of his fights, he was well into the 230s, maybe even the 240s. And you got to bear in mind, Mike Tyson is only 5'10", and that's actually, again, that makes his career so impressive. Yeah, against Kevin McBride, 233. Against Danny Williams, which, if it was showing me here, he was, again, like clockwork, 233. Lennox Lewis, 234. Yeah, 239 against Brian Nelson. That was in Copenhagen. 239 for a 5'10" heavyweight is massive. That was kind of when, yeah, you started roughly seeing, yeah, after the Andrew Galata fight, that's when he started pumping a lot of weights and was coming in much heavier. Now, again, that would have been Mike Tyson in his, geez, how old would he have been? He would have been in his, what, mid-30s, thereabouts? Yeah, mid-30s. So, a mid-30s Mike Tyson, I was thinking, how much is he going to weigh? How is he going to look in terms of what shape is he going to be in? You know, stuff like that. And I have to say, for a man who, and this is not me advocating that this fight, you know, was a good thing or anything like that, but for a man who's 58 years old, I have to say, I mean, he doesn't look in bad shape for a 58-year-old man. And to be weighing in, because he weighed in at 228 pounds, nearly 228 and a half. I'm surprised he's as light as he is, to be honest with you. I really shocked me when I seen the weights. I was like, surely not. 228? I was like, surely not. Can't be that light. But yeah, apparently that's what Mike Tyson was weighing in at. Look, I'm not trying to glorify this fight. I've had my 2 cents on it. I don't think that it's a very, very good thing. I think it's car crash TV. Normally, I'm a fan of car crash TV, I have to admit. I've said that several times. I think that there is something entertaining and theatrical about watching a calamity unfold, knowing it's going to be that, but you watch nonetheless. I've always been a fan of that. Always been a fan of that. But with this one, where you have an old man, you know, and as people say, 58 isn't old. All right, he's getting old. He's definitely not young, put it like that. You're never going to look at a 58-year-old and say young man, put it like that. But he's getting up there in age. All right, he's closer to his senior citizenship than, you know, most people would care to admit. So 58-year-old man, I don't want to see a 58-year-old man potentially get hurt and potentially suffer long-term damage going into a fight that he really doesn't need to take. I don't like it, but nevertheless, right, I'm talking about it now. I've talked about it during the week, and I will do a review tomorrow morning of the fight. I will. In terms of this fight as a whole, look, I think Jake Paul is going to win this fight. Just a quick prediction. I think Jake Paul is going to win this fight. I don't know the method. I would imagine it's probably going to be by knockout, because Mike Tyson in his prime had a really, really good chin. He took some heavy shots against Buster Douglas, heavy shots against Evander Holyfield. And if you look at Mike Tyson's career, I know he's been stopped. Have all of his? No, apart from the Holyfield rematch, excuse me, all of his losses have been via stoppage. But it's really only Holyfield and Douglas who've really laid Mike Tyson out. I know you can say, well, what about the Lennox Lewis knockout? Yeah, Lennox Lewis definitely hurt him, but I think he probably could have got up from that knockdown in the 8th round. Like, he was taking a beating, he wasn't in the fight, and I think he knew that was it. He gave all he could in that first round. He won that first round, and that was it. Against Danny Williams, he injured his knee, and you know, he was sat there on the canvas looking like, is this really it? Is this really what I've become? And then against Kevin McBride, you know, he was pulled out after 6-7 rounds. The only two people to ever really proper, you know, hurt Mike Tyson, take him out, Holyfield and Douglas. Especially Douglas. Mike Tyson was in another universe in that fight. Holyfield hurt him bad in round 10, and he was pretty much, yeah, he wasn't as out of it as he was again, because in that Douglas fight, he was out of it. The referee could never have allowed him to carry on. Against Holyfield, touch and go in round 10, but yeah, referee right to stop it when he did in round 11. I think that Mike Tyson at 58, he's not going to have the same punch resistance. He looked slow to me in his public workout. He looked like he was forcing it. I would say after that pad session, he probably would have been breathing as heavy as anything. It looked like he was really having to work hard just to do that on the pads. And for the 58-year-old man, you know, the average 58-year-old, you'd say, well, he looked pretty good. Yeah, of course. If you're comparing him to the average 58-year-old, brilliant. He's fighting a 27-year-old. You know, I mean, he's old enough to be Jake Paul's dad. Well, much old. He's well old enough to be Jake Paul's dad. Jesus. Well old enough to be it. So, I think Mike Tyson is in for a hard time. I think it's been nearly 20 years since he fought a Danny Williams and a Kevin McBride, both fighters whom he would have dispatched with no problem in his prime. He's not going to be any better than he was then. And, yeah, I just don't think that he's going to come out swinging. But I don't see him having much to trouble Jake Paul with, to be honest with you. Prime Tyson doesn't even... Prime Mike Tyson, this fight's over in 10 to 15 seconds. Over the hill Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson who fought Lewis, Williams, over in about a minute. This Mike Tyson, yeah, nah. This just ain't going to work. So, Jake Paul going in there with Mike Tyson. Look, whatever happens, it's most likely going to be Jake Paul winning. I just hope Mike Tyson comes through healthy. That he gets a big fat payday and that's it. Please, God, don't ever do this again. And let's not make a habit of having these, you know, washed a bit over the hill legends go in there against someone like a Jake Paul or fellow YouTubers. Let's not make this something that it's not. Let's not keep this going. If this is a one and done, so be it. Let's not make this a recurring thing in boxing, please. I know it's putting eyes on the sport, and I've always said, and I reiterate this, and I will stand by this, give it 10, 15 years. 10 to 15 years, maybe less. There's going to be a world champion, a very good world champion, whether he's American, whether he's British, whether he's Australian, whether he's from Japan, maybe not Japan, but somewhere in the world. They're going to turn around and they're going to say, what was your influence? Jake Paul, KSI. I guarantee that's what's going to happen. I got into boxing watching Misfits. I got into boxing watching Jake Paul. The reason I say probably not in Japan is I don't think Misfits and that kind of boxing is as popular over there. But certainly in the UK and Ireland and obviously the US, I guarantee you that'll happen. Guarantee it. I'll take that one to the bank with you. I guarantee that'll happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think will win? Do you care? Are you going to tune in? I mean, it is on Netflix for free. So, well, if you have Netflix, it is on Netflix for free. So if you have it, I'm sure there's going to be no rush of people watching it the morning after just to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. Peace.